we are so excited today to share with you some of those events. I know a lot of people don't know me, and my name is not out there yet, but it will be. It's because of the passion and the love and the care that I have for our beautiful city of Vicksburg. I was born and raised here. I'm 62 years old and never left home. So my passion is very deep in heart for Vicksburg. Not only just Vicksburg, but our youth. We have a lot of scheduled events this coming year that will acquire our youth. But my company loves not only the youth, we have events planned for adults. So we are so excited that we will be doing things that will unify the family. By that we know that we will be pleasing our Heavenly Father because He loves family and He loves people. And I just want to thank you guys. And even before I go further, some have to leave before I complete my task. I just want to thank you, and I pray, God, that He will restore your time today for that 2 hours, an hour, whatever you gave us. I pray that God will return that a hundredfold. So thank you. I know you guys have a lot to do. I'm not going to take long, but we're just here today along with my company. Some of my team members are here, and some of them are not. They're on media. So today, I just like to do a shout out to those that are here with us. I want to really, truly thank, very happy, Steve Howard. They drove 17 hours, him and his team, all the way from El Paso, Texas, on yesterday so they could be here today. They don't even live here in Vicksburg, but they love us enough to do that. So for that, I'm so thankful. Also, Speed Merchant, Sam Connors, he drove from Texas, Dallas. Sam is born and raised. He's a citizen of Vicksburg. He's a native of Vicksburg, but he's done live here. And right present now, my COO, Johnny Rivers, he is Sports X. I know why he got an X in sports. I know why his company's named that. But really heart to heart, that is a very hardworking man. He has labor, and labor to try to keep me on track. It's hard, and I had to try to keep him on track too, if anybody know him that well. But we just like to thank you. We do have a lot of events. Johnny's going to come up. We have some that are not here. They will be listening to us, and that is Preston Denard. Preston live in New Mexico, Albuquerque. And also Darius and Nicole Wynn, financial institution, they're watching us in Atlanta, Georgia. So we are a team, and we have one more member, and that D-Boss is Darius. He's watching us also from El Paso. Johnny's going to come back and tie all these team members together and tell you what we have planned for those events. And even some that's not listed today, we're working on some. Again, I told you guys that we have a passion for children, and I am a product of the vocational training class that they had back in the 1978. I took a class that was called VOTEC. And in that class of VOTEC, it was called Building Future Leaders of America, FBLA. Some of you guys probably participated in those things. Well, we have one of our great teachers that we will be honoring next year. It's an upcoming event. I just want to give a shout out to that. Her name is Mrs. Hazel Lamanek Mueller. She's not here, but we're going to have a reunion or reunite of all those students so she could see us today and see what we're doing. And we're going to give a shout out to her. And also, we have created a special award. We will be handing these beautiful awards out today. They're called the Vicksburg Award. My team and I, we went through a lot to build these awards. We went through a lot of collaborations. We went through a lot of, research, and we wanted to give honor just to a few of our people. We do have some more that we will be giving out throughout the year, but some of the people were not able to be here today. So with that being said, we will be handing these out. These are artwork. These are created one vote at a time, made special for the special people of Vicksburg, along with a gift certificate, a certificate of authentication, handmade. The artists of these have signed their authentication certificate. You guys mean that much to us, and then some. So we like to truly thank you guys. We like to thank the business, the long-standing businesses that has been here in Vicksburg. We know we'll be celebrating 200 years, and we have some businesses that have been here, not quite the whole 200, but they've been here a long time. And one, in honor, she's present today, representing the Beaten Horn Coca-Cola Company. Thank you so very much. We also have several ones that are not here that we reached out to, and it was Jefferson Funeral Home. We will later on give awards out. We couldn't catch up with some people right now, but Jefferson Funeral Home, for those that might not know, they are the oldest Black-owned funeral home business in Mississippi. They've been serving Vicksburg since 1894. So, with that being said, they're along with the Coca-Cola Museum. You guys have been labor of love for a long time. A lot of people come here today because of the Coca-Cola Museum. And we cannot forget the Vicksburg Military Park that's long-standing. We have most of our visitors, most of our tours are drawn here today because of the National Military Park. Along with this beautiful place that we're hosting here today, we are at the Jesse Brent Lower Mississippi River Museum. My passion, my love. I retired from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers after serving for 42 years and 2 months. And we'd like to thank them, give them a great shout out to let us have this event here this morning. So thank you guys again for coming. We have many more events scheduled. We have so much to look forward to. And just a little bit, my name is the Battleground Tours, but it's just not the tours. Right now I am a tour guide. I am not a military tour guide. I'm a local Vicksburg tour guide. I work for Carolyn Bertram Hayes Davis with the Vicksburg Tour Company, Old Time Tours, and I do tours for the Viking Company and the American Cruise Line when they bring their guests in. I get on the bus and go around and tell them about Vicksburg. So I have learned great message about that. And in particular, my heart and my passion was for Newick Vic. He's the founder of Vicksburg. I went to school here. We didn't learn a lot of things about our own city. The things that I know today, I learned them since I've been a tour guide and doing research and really digging into the understanding of how Vicksburg really coming to know as Vicksburg. So again, we honoring one of those members. Newick Vic was a Methodist minister. So we created a logo, our BiCentennial logo. It took a long time. We didn't do it lightly. We thought about it. We did sketches. No. Well, at the end of the day, I said, hey, Newick Vic was a Methodist minister. My COO looked up, hey, the colors is red and black. That's where we get our color from. If you guys have not looked around the room yet, that logo, the red and black logo with 200 on it, that's what that is. That is my logo. That is the Battleground Tour logo for 200-year celebration. I have items that we will be giving away next year. The first table, we have a Confederate replica and a Union replica gun. We're going to give those away. Someone will get those. We're going to give that backpack away next year. Because why? We have to give back to our beautiful city. So by saying all that, those items on that table, when you get a chance to look at them, please do look at them. We will be raffling them. The other two tables are items that we have purchased. Those are our T-shirts and our caps. And I'm so proud of Build-A-Bear. They have teamed with us. Build-A-Bear have teamed with us. Shortly, you guys will see a video of our bear. We have named him after the city that Abraham Lincoln said about Vicksburg during the siege of Vicksburg. He said Vicksburg was the key to the South. So our bear is named Keys. So Keys has on our same T-shirt colors as the ones that we have today. So Keys was born on September the 6th. He has a birth certificate. And Build-A-Bear was so excited, and they send their love and their passion. You guys will see that later when we get a chance to play the video. You'll see what they said about that. So we're just so happy and so proud of that so very much. So as we go on next, Johnny, would you like to come up? Yes. He's going to do it anyway, you guys. You have to know. He thinks he's the boss, but he's the COO.
We started in one direction. The direction kept changing. I'm going to tell you how this started. This is my classmate. I have another classmate here, Priscilla Berry. Janice and I came to town for a Vicksburg High School football game. We went out to eat at Waffle House, and she was telling me what she wanted to do after retirement. I want to flip houses, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I told her that's not something I would advise. So I asked her a question. I said, I want you to ask me a question. Ask me the question. When you look at me, tell me what you see. So she asked me that question. With her tenure for over 42 years as a budget analyst for the United States Army, she can do a lot better than flipping houses. There's nothing wrong with it. This is not criticism at all. But there's a lot more that people can do. I look at retirement age, it doesn't mean retirement age to me. When you look at different individuals that have been successful, from Harrison Ford to a lot of other people, they didn't start until they were in their 40s and their 50s. That's about the time in your life where you really get the information, the experience that you need to move forward in life. So I would invite anybody in this room, if you're considering retiring, even you, Coach Alonzo Stevens, absolutely not. It's not something you really want to do. So what we've done, I'm going to give you a snapshot of this. Like Janice said, we appreciate you being here, and we know you have other places to go. This is what Battleground Tours is. Battleground Tours is a combination of a lot of companies. It's Battleground Tours, SportsX, Howard Family Media Group, Speed Merchant, Win Financial Group. And the reason we have all these components, because in order for us to move forward, to do what we want to do, what our goal is, the word vision means nothing to me. I look at mission statements. Before I talk to anybody in this room, I already read your mission statement. Whether you're a company, whether you're a university, whatever. We want to know everything there is to know about you before we approach you, because we have a direction. The word vision to me should be taken out of general circulation. And there's a reason for that. The word vision, I've seen visionaries. You reference them a lot in your flags, Dr. Martin Luther King. So, from a point of the word vision, unless you are going to be a nominee for a Nobel Peace Prize, it's an overused word. We have a direction that we're going to go in. There's a goal that we want to reach, and we want to do it here in Vicksburg, Mississippi. There's some things that have happened. This was not supposed to be our first event. We had a Comic-Con planned for Vicksburg, Mississippi. The hurdles that we ran into should not have happened. The amount of money that we put into that Comic-Con, we should have been welcomed with open arms with it, but we were not. We tried once, we tried twice. We're shot down both times. So this event that we're doing right now, we had to move. This wasn't scheduled for us to talk to you until later in the year. We had to move this forward. So if it seems a bit rushed, that's the reason for it. We have, or when Mayor Flaggs made the announcement, we keep ourselves abreast of everything that's going on in the city. What people say, who's saying it, and everything else. There's nothing that's said or that's happening that we don't know about. If I don't know, there's people I can call and find out. So when you made the announcement, you put there Mayor Flaggs, you welcomed other people to contribute events to our BiCentennial. We took that to heart. We don't do committees, we're a jury. So when we commit to an event, it is a jury. We're going to drop it, and we're going to break it, and we're going to glue it back together, and I'm going to drop it again. That's the only way we can ensure that we get what we want. That's the only way that we can represent Vicksburg in the manner that it should be represented. Now, Sam Connors and I took off and went to Super Bowl, and we thought we were going to have a great time out there just watching the game. But on the drive up there, the only questions that come to mind is we start discussing the city, what's going on, what's happening. And people say, you know what, Vicksburg needs this, they need that. That's every city in the United States of America. Vicksburg needs opportunities. That's what we want to bring to Vicksburg, Mississippi. Our Comic-Con was supposed to be number one. With the amount of money that we invested in it, the statues that we own, it was well thought out. We have life-size minions. Gru, Lucy, Stuart, Peter. We're not talking about cardboard cutouts. We have the only minions in the United States of America. That's one of the aspects we wanted to bring to Vicksburg this past Labor Day. All the other statues that we have, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Superman, Thanos. I've gone as far as we have you're probably not familiar with this, but Gundam. Gundam is the equivalent of, let's see what would be here, Transformers. The superhero is so big that they have about a 300 square foot statue of him. They have a whole factory that's set up around him. They have a Gundam society here in the United States of America. Most of the statues are here. We have a 6-foot one of the only ones. So when it comes to investing time and money and all these other things, we're not afraid to do it. But we need your support. Things like this can't happen. Our CEO, Janice Flowers, I have to say this, has not been respected in the city. Chamber of Commerce has not come to talk to her. Vicksburg Tourism Convention Bureau have not come to talk to us. But they did cut her a check after she sent in a piece of paper. They offered her a certain amount of money. They did not know her. That's backwards to me. We have a building over on 1631 Popular Street. We had an architect come in 3 years ago, and we started to work on this building. That building went from remodeling a building to adding another 8,000 square feet. That facility will be 16,500 square feet. Some of the stuff that you see here, the Coca-Cola bag, the Betty Boop, a lot of you hadn't seen this book yet. What we've done, what we're going to do with this building, and Ms. Bell, it's a competition. We want to compete with you. The Beaton Heart Museum shows how Coca-Cola was first put in bottles. We want to show the transition. We want to show where it's gone. That book belonged to R.W. Woodruff, the gentleman who took Coca-Cola global. Now, Pastor Potter is here because some of his questions, you'll get to see it later. Emory University and the Candler Seminary? School of Theology. Warren Candler was on the board. Asa Candler pledged the first $1 million to build a school. So there are ties not only between Candler and Coca-Cola, but Vicksburg, Mississippi.
Coca-Cola, the Methodist Church. This is all the research that we do. Actually, we go a little bit
further than that.
We can give you the traffic count
that
gets off when you get off on
exit 1A, which is a perfect exit. That should be advertised. We couldn't have been gifted a better exit. What exit do I get off on? 1794. No, 1A. And it leads you straight into downtown Vicksburg.
We look at the Vicksburg, Mississippi River.
We look at the bridges. All of this we take into consideration. I have a son that lives in San Antonio. They took a bayou, basically what we call a bayou, and they turned it into a river walk. It can be done. Vicksburg has everything. Our architect, Eric Barrera, came into Vicksburg and he said, Johnny, listen, if I had not put boots on the ground, I wouldn't believe you. This is a gold mine. So we don't need anything but opportunity. So what we're asking you to do today is to listen to these 6 events that we have. Every single event we have, we want it to be an annual event. We want to be able to contribute and have economic impact on Vicksburg, Mississippi. Not in a small way, but a major way. The first one is going to be our sports extravaganza. What we're going to do with the sports extravaganza is this. We've talked with the Vicksburg Warren School District. There's some representatives here. We want to use Vicksburg High School Stadium and Warren Central Stadium. We need the use of the Jumbotron because we have Howard Family Media Group. So when you hear live streaming, they take it and put it on steroids. And as Janice alluded to come all the way from El Paso, Texas, I just made the drive myself. It's about 20 hours. It's about 20 hours. So, Steve's telling me to pick the mic up. I'm getting beside myself. We
Feel
feel
very strongly about all these events. So with the sports challenge, I'm going to give you a snapshot. This is what it is. We invited all 4 high schools. Whether they come, I don't know. The invitation has been sent. We're going to use all our athletes, whether it's band, whether it's basketball, football, whatever. And we're going to host between Vicksburg Stadium and Warren Central Stadium. We're going to bring in the streaming company, and we're going to host a series of events for the BiCentennial. We want the participation. We're inviting staff and everybody else. Now, the basis for that, we have 6 world records that we're going to set. This is not probability. This is not
conjecture or anything of the sort. This is for real. People say, you know what are the events? I cannot tell you. It's proprietary for the simple fact that if I put it out there, anybody else can go and do it. It's reserved for Vicksburg. Now, when Sam and I travel, I'll get back to Las Vegas. Hey, where are you guys from? Vicksburg. Pittsburgh? No. Vicksburg, as in vapor rub. And we look at each other and we say, this is not the way it should be. As our CEO alluded to, that shirt that was created, I got the opportunity to work with my son for 6 months. That's 6 months of research. There's a history lesson on the back of that shirt. From the Steamboat Act to the caduceus. People say that's a medical symbol. It is not. One snake is a medical symbol. We put a lot of time and a lot of thought. So from there, we have our barber battle. After you go home and you watch this live stream, you'll be able to see Darius Belcher, the Boss Entertainment, a friend of mine in El Paso, has been very successful with everything from car shows to barber battles, things to concerts. We enlisted his help. He's on board. We have a barber battle, the art of the blade, that we're ready to bring to Vicksburg, Mississippi. The barbers have been signed. We need a place to host. It will be a sellout. The businesses in this town deserve opportunities, not the one-offs. We want annuals. Janice and I are in business. Steve is in business. You need to be able to look up Vicksburg, Mississippi and say, hey, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different events that we can hang our hats on. The hotels are going to be full. The restaurants are going to be full. This is what Vicksburg is about. These opportunities exist. This is what we want to do, but we need your help. In setting 6 world records, every single person in this room, we did our research on you. There is a reason that you're here, because you're a pillar in the community. Without you, this is hearsay. It's fodder. There are a lot of other different words that I can use. This is very important to us. But being a business person, Janice and I fight. We fight. There's been times I've gotten in my vehicle and drove back to El Paso, Texas, and we didn't talk for 2 weeks. I'm not ashamed to say it because it's business. It's personal. Business and personal are 2 totally different things. Because we disagree on things. That building transition, we're not even really talk about the building now. You'll get to see it once it's done. That is a whole different subject. Because we're going to bring an asset into Vicksburg. We're going to fill it. Right now, we probably have, just in what's going to go inside the building, 700,000 to 800,000 of our money. And I'm saying that because it is. It's an investment. This is how strongly we feel about this community. But again, we need your help. We need your support. We can't do it without you. We have a Little League baseball tournament that we can put at Sports Force Park right now. It's a telephone call for me. I've done tournaments since 2006. We can fill up this town, fill up the hotels on a phone call, because I'm going to put up a cash prize of $25,000. You'll get teams coming in from Mexico, everywhere else. I know what I do. I'm very good at what I do, and that's not bragging. That's a blessing. It's taking years, from 2006 to 2024. We need your help. Whether it's car shows, whether it's whatever, we need a place to host. If you give us the opportunity, we will fill up this city. It's not hard. It's the blessing of being able to know certain people. We're putting a coaches clinic in Vicksburg, Mississippi in 2025. And I want anybody to challenge me on this. It's already planned. We need a place to host. So more than anything, this meeting is about what we can do for Vicksburg, the opportunities that we can bring to Vicksburg. Sam Connor and I were talking 3 months ago. We had this thing called Vampire Session. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, neither one of us had nothing to do, so we conversed back and forth. But it's the type of conversation that leads into a great outcome. So we're talking about the bear that's up at the museum up the street. And I told Sam, I said, man, let's look into it. So we found out what the history of that bear was. That Teddy Roosevelt went on a hunting excursion and onward. The guy found a bear, strapped it to a tree, hit it in the head, dazed it, and Roosevelt refused to shoot it. Not good sportsmanship. That gets back to Washington, D.C. The United States makes a big deal out of it. That's the birth of the teddy bear. So I look at Sam and I said, man, we're onto something. Let's keep talking. So we keep talking and the discussion moves on. And we say, okay, Roosevelt came back through Vicksburg. There was a young man here that walked up to him and gave him a bouquet of flowers. Roosevelt writes down his name, goes back to D.C., sends the guy back a teddy bear. Man, we're really onto something now. So we can't use Teddy Roosevelt's name because, you know, like Attorney Naylor will tell you, man, intellectual property is a monster. You don't want to get sued for something like that. So we kick this thing around, and I go into Google. And as soon as I Google teddy bear, the first thing that pops up is Build-A-Bear. So I challenge myself, saying, you know what? Let me see if I can get these people's attention. So because of your announcement, Mayor Flags, for BiCentennial, I think back to 1776, I run this by Sam. I said, you know, you do this, man. I know they'll listen to us. So I said, Sam, I'm going to send them an email. And I want to do something with this bear. I know they'll do it. God blessed us. They did. They did. The chief marketing director for Build-A-Bear Worldwide, we're on a first-name basis. Because she told me, Mr. Rivers, I've never had a request like this. Closed mouths don't get fed. All you have to do is ask. So we come back to Janice. Janice, guess what? Sam and I thought about this last night. So the reason we don't like each other is because I get up early in the morning. 5 o'clock. She got to let the bed go. I told her retirement's over with. So I say, hey, man, we got this thing. We're going to do this. I'm going to do this. You know what, Johnny? Go ahead, do whatever you do. She probably didn't think anything was going to come of it. But it did. So I go back and I tell her, okay, you're the historian in the group. That's her thing. Everybody within this group has something that they do very well. We're like a hand that turns into a fist. Her knowledge of history. Wait a minute. Abraham Lincoln said this, the key to the South. So we said, okay, we have Teddy Roosevelt. We got Abraham Lincoln. Man, the bear can be conceived out of something that happened between 2 presidents of the United States of America. That's how the name Keys came about. So what you see right here came from a vampire session.
Big cut. There you go. And then go ahead and grab a it. Okay, ready? Put it in between your hands and we're gonna do the ceremony now. So you're gonna rub really hard so it can start warming up. We're gonna clap so it could start pounding. It's gonna go on your head so it could be very smart, like you on your shoulders, so it could be by your side, always on your heart. For lots of love, we're gonna put it back on our hand. Close your eyes and we close it. Give it a kiss. And we put it. And now we're gonna take it on and we're gonna have it take it back, okay?
So I'm gonna bring Sam up and he'll tell you a little bit more about our escapades, and I'll get back on and finish this up so you guys can get out of here. Sam Connors, I've known since I was 16 years old. Super athlete, self-taught. We've worked, from the time I was in high school, he's the reason I signed a Division I college scholarship. He and a lot of other people would come back from Mississippi State, and they would come and find you on the playground. And they would tell you, you know what, your mother can't afford to send you to college. What are you doing up here? And they take a fist and hit you in your stomach, that yellow bile that comes out. That's how I got to where I was. A very huge component in it. Ever since then, we've worked speed training camps together. Sam trains athletes for a living, professional athletes, high school athletes, things of that nature. But again, it's our travels together and our conversations that lead us to say there's a lot we can do so the name Vicksburg, Mississippi is starting to come out of everybody's mouth again. Canvas that we can't sit here and not paint it. Let us assist.
As Johnny said, I'm Sam Connor, grew up here in Vicksburg. Graduated from Vicksburg High School in 1975. Went on to college at the University of Mississippi. Stayed there for a year. Got kicked off the football team. Transferred to Mississippi State. Played collegiately at Mississippi State. Played some professional football with the USFL with New Jersey Generals. That was owned by a little known guy by the name of Donald Trump. And he was like 33, 34 years old. Played there, played for San Antonio Gunslingers unit, the USFL. I also played with the Houston Gamblers. And I was signed by the 1989 as a 32-year-old rookie by the Houston Oilers. But I love training athletes and like to see young men progress and work hard. I was blessed to have great mentors there in my neighborhood and also as far as coaching. And Johnny and I, we've been together forever. We've been together since he was maybe this tall, and now you see how much taller he is than I am. And now so, you know, we talk sometimes twice a day, talk quite a bit. And we want to see Vicksburg progress and advance. And we're always thinking what we can do to help, you know, our city. We love the city. We don't live here, but we love the city. We want to see people do well. And that's how, you know, we're always brainstorming. And that's how this came about as far as keys. And basically, you know, we'll do whatever we can to try to help our city progress. And over the years, people just recently, last week, someone asked me where was I from, and I told them Vicksburg, Vicksburg, and they always think that I said Pittsburgh, you know. So then I explained about Vicksburg, how significant it was to during the Civil War, and how when Vicksburg fell, the Civil War was essentially over. And so we want our city to be well known. We want to reintroduce it not only to the United States, but to the world. And we're proud of our city. We know that there's a lot that needs to be done, and we're willing to help whichever way that we can. My mother was an educator here. She taught here. Late Rosalie Connor taught school here for well over 40 years. And, you know, we're proud of our city. We just want to do whatever we can to enhance Vicksburg and to help. There have been a lot of great people, not just athletes, but academics that went on to Harvard and played at the University of Michigan, graduated from Michigan State. And those people have been more or less forgotten and not known about. You know, we want people to know about the history of Vicksburg, the great people that have come from here, and hopefully the kids here will take note and realize that if those people could do it under conditions that were less, they were less fortunate than the people now, they didn't have the same opportunities, hopefully they can do that also, you know? Yeah, so we just want our city to be, you know, the very best, the best not only in Mississippi, but hopefully in the United States.
Thank you, Sam. We're going to finish up. I know everybody's tired. We came up with 2 words, and I'm hoping everybody will agree with it.
In her interview, referred to Vicksburg, people that live here, as Vicksburgers. And I was like, nah, I can't be a Vicksburger because I don't live there anymore. So if it's okay with everybody in the room, we came up with another name. If you're from outside of Vicksburg, we'd like for you to call us Vicksburgians. Different terminology. It takes a little bit to roll off the tongue and everything else. In ending, the Civil War and the history of Vicksburg shouldn't define Vicksburg. I think we're limiting ourselves, and that's not what Vicksburgers do. We want the opportunity. We want your support to bring these events into Vicksburg. They will be annual events. We want to be able to have the community come out and say, I met Hall of Fame athletes. I met celebrities. As a community, there's some people that aren't ever going to go to an NFL game. They're not going to go to a Major League Baseball game, or an NBA basketball game, or a WNBA game. They still shouldn't be robbed of that opportunity. Let us help. That's why you're here. I'll tell you a little bit about this award. Anybody can go into a store and buy a plaque. And that's not putting down plaques. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm telling you that the thought that went into this is because we want to put something there that's significant. I don't want you to put something on your wall and it tarnishes. We wanted to create an heirloom. This is a small part of what we do. The artist that created this horse is a very good friend. He's done a lot of other stuff. This is the tip of the iceberg as far as what he can create. These are made of individual nuts. Each one of those nuts is welded to the other one. It takes about a day to put this aspect of it together. Then it has to be welded and everything else. Then there's another process that goes along with it because metal tarnishes and everything else. So we have to take it somewhere else and get another process done. And to get these logos and everything put on it, that's another process. So it's not something, we didn't want to give something to Vicksburg that you can go buy. For my birthday, don't go to a Kroger and buy me a cake. Make one. Take the time, go get the cake mix. Make me one. It means a lot more. Janet saw this and her heart melted. We want to be able to give Vicksburg something that you take and you put in your business that you're proud of, that 100 years from now, and I know Ms. Bell can relate to this, we've got a BiCentennial coming up. There won't be one of us that'll be here for the Tricentennial. We have a golden opportunity right now to do a lot of things, to accomplish a lot of things together as a city that's going to create a great bond. It can be done, but we're going to need your support. So again, these awards, They come with a certificate of authenticity. Once you look at the video, you'll be able to see the work that this guy does. We're very proud of him. I'm proud of him being a friend. If I can think it, he can do it. So Janice, you want to start?
Yes. Thank you, Johnny. We would like for the first one we're going to do, we're going to give to the Reverend Potter. Would you come forward, please? I will.
I'll grab it for you.
So as Johnny said, am I on? So as Johnny said that we really thought hard about this, and we chose the Methodist minister, the Methodist church, because again, I stated earlier, Newark Vic, the founder of Vicksburg, was a Methodist minister. Where the church is today was not the original church place. The original church was on the corner of South Street, but you guys own the whole city block now. But the original church was a little wooden church right on the corner of South Street. As Newark Vic bought 1,100 acres of land and plotted the city, I know you guys not here for history, but we want to honor him, and by doing so, we chose the Crawford Street Methodist Church, and we would like for Reverend Potter to take this back to the church on our behalf and let them know that we are so appreciative and so grateful for Newark Vic and the Crawford Street Methodist Church. Please remember us in your prayers. We are a labor of love. We are laboring here one with another in this city, and we will make history together. So on behalf of Battleground Tour, it has our logo on it. This is the logo for those who look around. And also, this is my logo. This is Battleground. I didn't choose that red and black color because it was the church. I chose that because I like those colors. But in doing our research, as Johnny stated, we look to find out the red and black on the logo does represent the Methodist Church. So we chose those beautiful red and black colors to make the logo in honor of Newark Vic. We're really proud of his family. We did try to reach out to his family. Unfortunately, we have not been able to, but in the future, we will still try to, because we're really grateful for his labor of love, his buying up the acres of land and plotting out Vicksburg. And that's why we are named Vicksburg after Newark Vic. Thank you. So please give this help congregation on tomorrow. I will with much love. God bless you.
Bless you too.
God bless you.
Ms. Bell, if you would. Our Southern upbringing dictated that we do the church first, so I'm hoping you understand. My mother would have been very upset.
We would have no other way.
Nancy Bell is representing, accepting this award for the Beanhorn Coca-Cola Museum. Her work with the Vicksburg Foundation for Historic Preservation doesn't go unnoticed. There is a title that's associated with her, and it's called Grand Dame. So when I think of James Bond and Sean Connery and things like that, I'm thinking that you're in big company. Miss Bell, you've done a wonderful job at the museum. I mean, we've been in, we take a look at everything that you do, and based on the impact that the Coca-Cola Museum and the Beanhorn family and the fact that it was first put in bottles here has had on the city of Vicksburg, you're to be commended. Okay.
God bless you. Thank you. I love you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, and this next guy, I mean, the gloves are off right now. We're about to end this thing up. So, talk about a bad kid growing up. I was a bad kid, man. Terrible kid. Not really that bad, but playing sports at Vicksburg High School. was a wonderful experience for me. We had a coaching staff, and it's just not Coach Stevens. We had a staff of coaches that really cared. I started to learn, Attorney Nail, about contracts when I was at Vicksburg High School because they made us sign one. You had to be committed. To represent the city of Vicksburg, we wanted to be state champion. First time I saw this man, and you won't remember this, I was on Hannah Avenue. You renamed my street, Mayor Flags. I mean, you got a beef on me. I was on Hannah Avenue. He was going up the street. I see this Buick Riviera, comes down Military, makes a right, and goes up Hannah Street. And this guy gets out, he's got an Alcorn jersey, and I'm looking at the shiny car, and I'm looking at the jersey, and I'm like, who is that? They said, that's Alonzo Stevens. I said, man, I didn't want to be a fireman after that. I didn't want to be a police officer. I didn't want to do it. I said, man, I want to be a football player. I went and got a football, and that's the beginning of the impact that he had on my life. Transition up to high school. Those contracts that I'm telling you about, they were serious. We took them serious. He's always been about commitment. He's always been about youth. He's always been about representing Vicksburg in the best way possible. He started the weight program, the weight training program at Vicksburg High School. He said, you know what? If we want to win a state championship, we got to lift. Look at what Meridian is doing. I went to my first powerlifting contest with him. I was one of his inaugural guys. So from there, we just transitioned. I'm going to give you one story. At Vicksburg High School, there was always a challenge program. So if you're wondering why I turned out the way I do, I don't mind a challenge. I'll accept a challenge from anybody and for anything. I will not back down because of a lot of your teaching. We missed practice. We're late for practice. We're at Metro Center in Jackson, me and a couple of friends. So we had to come up with a lie. I said, man, how are we going to get out of this thing? So we go into a phone booth. And one guy is going, and I start to whistle like an airplane. At least I thought I was whistling like an airplane. So we're on the phone, and we're talking to the coach's office. And they don't say anything that, hey, hurry up and get here. We get here, we get demoted from first team down to, I don't know. They put us so far back there to pump sunshine into us. But coach was like, really, Rivers? Really? An airplane? That's the way an airplane sounds. But I've, over the years, anything I wanted to do in Vicksburg, I got to call Alonzo Stevens. I look at the list of people that you've mentored, and there's one question I want to ask you. How many are there? You know why you don't know? Because you're a winner. Get sore. I told you I would get some tears. Somebody was going to cry today. The football player.
Thank you so much. All your labor of love, and still labor of love. He is still working diligent with the children. Your labor is not in vain. God bless you, and thank you so very much. Love you. Nothing but love, Coach. Nothing but love.
That's it for the day. Look forward to a lot of events from us. If the phone rings, please pick it up. We're not offering milk and cookies. We want to bring some gold. We want to remine gold in Vicksburg, Mississippi. Give us a shot. Give us a shot. We promise we won't let you down. Thank you for coming, Janice.
Let's just close and thank you guys so much. As your day is, so shall your strength be in the Lord, and God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Love you guys so much.